I won this cup one time, it's just quite long ago. Then there were like one or two other cups where I had quite unfortunate happenings to not win it. But otherwise, I missed many cups because if I have to work, then on a Sunday where that cup happens, then I cannot play, of course. And the past editions I could have played very often, but the thing is you also have to practice and learn an RPG map, and I never really found time for that, and then it didn't really make much sense to participate in the cup. I actually participated once on the map. I know that was a different cup, was it? No, it was actually, that's why it was two this month, the map Darakun. Where Virtual, Sano, Samifying, Scrappy did like a race together. A discovery race. But yeah, I participated in that monthly RPG Cup on my laptop. But no trained, and yeah, was still chanceless. They use here a format that I would say is the best format. One of the very best. Which is the reverse mode. But it usually was not reverse cup mode, it usually has been just... Yeah, you are eliminated when you reach 0, basically. No last chance. And I really love that format, but they have changed it. They have changed it, but luckily not completely to reverse cup mode. You get a last chance, but to stay in you need to be in the top 50% of the field or something like that. So you have to be better than just getting pre-last. Because in a normal reverse cup mode, you always survive when you get when you avoid last place, so pre-last is fully okay. This part here is wild, man. But yeah, the normal just reverse, it sounds maybe a little bit less interesting when you only use the reverse mode, where you start with a certain point score and then you lose points depending on your position and you get closer and closer to 0. Sounds maybe not as interesting, but it actually is, because there is also dynamic in this cup where the more players are in, the less points you lose with a second, third place and so on. But when people get eliminated, then it starts to actually matter more and more. So the cup becomes more and more important towards the end, and it usually ends up with a 1v1 in the end. But you can get into this 1v1 with an advantage over your opponent. We will now go live and then I explain further how it starts, or how it works. It is important on this map to avoid the very long respawns, because there are some sectors where it could happen that if you make a mistake that it happens at the end of a sector, and then of course the respawn is pretty far away. This flip here is gonna be quite important, I would say. I learned this map in the past hour, but the map is luckily not very long. I didn't get a clean run through yet. I'm currently in 5th place, but my 2 PBs that were both good enough for 5th place in the leaderboard, they both made the same oopsie in their runs. I clipped in the freewheel section, which is extremely slow, so both of these runs were already a lot better. And finally, my very first run that I did on this map, its copium timer was faster than world record. But yeah, my discovery was a little bit different than a usual discovery. This first one had over 120 respawns, and I only continued when I hit a sector really nice. But it was then basically first try, if you can call it first try, faster than world record. But yeah, difficult to repeat this in one go. Because of course some of these sectors I only continued when it was really sick. So let's see how many I overtake here. 2. There's a border, I didn't know. Alright. So now you see we are only 14 players, so it goes rather quick this time. And basically, maybe there are even less players, because some of them are admins. But basically, you divide. Probably it counts as 11 players in this case, and you would now, or 12 players, and you would divide now 100 points, because last place loses 100 points. You divide that by 11 with 12 players. So you get basically 9-point gaps. And this is how people lose points now. Second place 9, then 18, 27, so that you have a very consistent way. Like always between every position you have the same distance or difference of how many points they lose. Yeah, so always 9 points difference. Apart then for from 90 to 100, that's 10. But it's basically always like this. And when people go from 200, we start with 250 points. When we reach 0, in that case, we will be in the last chance. Usually you were knocked out if you reach 0. But yeah, now I lost 18 points with the 3rd place. But I can tell you that it doesn't take all too long and you lose way more than 18 points. Like, you need some eliminations, and the less players there are, the more point differences are between each position. For example, if you are just 3 players left, then you divide 100 by 2, which means 50. That means first place loses 0. First place always loses 0 in this cup. The last place is 3rd, loses 100. And the second place loses 50. So even with the second place, you lose 50 points of your total point score. So that goes rather quick. That you lose points and go to 0. So in the ending, it becomes extremely important to play well. That's also the reason why I can live with a 3rd place in the first round very well. It's only 18 points. It's a bit more than I thought, Because the other times that I played the cup, there were overall more players on the server, and then you lost even less than 18 points. Like partly you only lost like 3 or 4 points. Basically nothing. I think a no finish, DNF is losing you actually 120 instead of 100. I cannot believe it. This part sucks ass. The problem with this part is that we are too fast. Yeah, I was winning this round. Oh, it was actually 45 already. Ah, that's shit, that's really shit. Now, this is also like the most important sector, I think. In like with this flip here, but the flip actually works pretty well now. But no, this is actually one of the most important sectors, because you have such a long respawn if you don't make this, and if you make it but you clip, you also lose like 3-4 seconds immediately. As I would have dropped to third with a small clip also immediately. I am not sure if I even would have reached the next checkpoint if I basically start from the platform up there. But yeah, that was huge. I mean, I'm 6th now. That's basically the middle of the player field, and that loses me a bunch of points. And I would have won. So this is how much it did cost. Because like, nowhere else you would lose, even with a respawn, that much time. Ugh, that was really annoying. But yeah, the thing is, the cup gets decided in the end, as usual. Also, in my opinion, 250 points is also not enough to start with. Because in the end, but let me focus this round and I explain you. Okay, it's slightly different, of course, because we have now this. The last chance, kind of. What is interesting, Kevin Strike, who holds the world record, is actually not playing. That's a bit surprising. There's one more very important sector. where you can lose a lot of time. And that is the next one. Because you do all this, but then comes this transition here, these jumps, and if they go wrong, that's also a long respawn. Okay, was fighting with Byron. I got a really bad end, but okay. I don't lose any more points in this round, so what I wanted to say is, what's the map called? Forest Island V2, but it is a cup version of the map. Also usually it is by Nitralis, but this one is by Yok, by the cup hoster here. He must have changed something on this map. So what I wanted to explain earlier, you know, in the end, imagine there's 2 players only left. The winner loses 0 points, the loser loses 100 points. If you want to actually have more time against your opponent, that you have like more rounds that you can lose before you lose the total cup, then you want to be ahead by... Also you want to be over 100 points basically, yeah? If you have like 104 points, then you have one more extra round until you reach 0. So it is quite important to end up over like with a 3-digit number still, you know? And I am already below 200, so that's already not possible. I can still stay over 100, but I'm not allowed to lose much more points now, because as I said, in the end you lose many points quickly. So that's a bit unfortunate that I actually dropped so many points overall already because of this one respawn. Because it also brings me closer to these 100. In the moment that I'm under 100, then yeah. But it is a little bit different than back in the days, because now you of course can also get to 0 and still survive. And Byron so far is driving extremely consistent here, which yeah, I also would like to do. Oh my god, but oh, okay, it worked still, but why did it almost not work? Like, that is random, holy shit. That feels very random to me, actually. Plastic bounce, eh? I actually saw me landing on the roof, and that would also be a long respawn. And a respawn where I have, like, where I didn't do anything wrong. That just happens and loses you many points then. So I definitely want to be better than 5th, but the map is still long. Because we know 5th place also loses you quite some points. Whoa. I stayed in second place, actually. That's surprising. Okay, Byron is losing a few more points now. I only lose 9. Also Kevin Strike is actually playing, but not pretty well. And No Picks, yeah. Also Kevin Strike has the world record, No Picks has the second place. Kadabu was also in the top 6, I remember. Byron was third or something like that. Yeah, Byron loses now 63 points. That's how quick it can go. He will be close to me now. Actually, I overtake him, I believe. Golio left. Oh, okay. I mean, Golio was not in the locus, so he probably learned it. So, and we have a last chance here for Grisix, who really struggles with this section. So he doesn't know the track, that's quite obvious. He's in the last chance. He will get knocked out, and I think the other guy, Sami, probably is also getting knocked out, because it's not just about last place. It is, from what I know, yeah, you have to be like top 50% or something, but we didn't really see which positions they needed. And we have more people in the last chance already, I think. That was rather quick, because we didn't really start with many players. But that's maybe like already some critics that I have, also for later on. On the one hand, I want to save to not make a mistake and lose big points. But then the other thing is I can knock out last chanced players. I can knock them out if I beat them, but I don't really know what position exactly they need. Because when it's like an uneven number of players still in, like 5 players, do they need then top 2 or do they need top 3? I don't know. Okay, that was also a first time. No way! How do you... Oh, this is so annoying. Also, How would I know that now? But also I didn't really drop much. That's surprising, but I will lose so many points with the 5th place already. I mean, I'm close to 4th, I think. But that was again such a stupid respawn, you know? Such an annoying, stupid one. Already clipping was weird. But that made me hit my forehead. And then you think, okay, but from the respawn, also from the checkpoint, the next section has to work, so surely it will work, right? That was my thinking. Just to figure out, no, it doesn't work. And here the problem is that we jump too far in this jump. And then we miss speed for this one. Oh god. Will I make it? Ach, this is so stupid, guys. This is so stupid. But I did already release. It seems to be so random how much speed you get. Someone passed me. But still a very weird round. Because I had such big mistakes, how am I actually 6th and not worse? But yeah, here you cannot really catch up anymore and re-overtake. Yeah, I'm losing 55 points, guys. That's not nice. As the round was also super bad. The winning time is okay-ish, but nothing too fast. But second place already only there. I don't know. Third place also not that sick. What a weird. Okay. Also many things can go wrong here, and if they happen at the end of sectors, it's super bad. But yeah, like what can you even do in this freewheel section? Also, I mean basically in the jumps before. The problem is really that the map author needed to make these jumps work from the respawn. So the first jump is quite... No, also you overjump it when you come with speed, when you don't start at the checkpoint with 0 speed. If you actually have speed, then you're too fast for the jump. You would basically land right before the next jump starts. And then you are basically too fast, which makes you then too slow for the speed check. So that means I need to release, and it's really difficult to judge like how much I need to release and when and so on. It's very difficult to hit right. Because sometimes I was very close to releasing too much. Now the dilemma is that the third place already costs you quite a lot of points. And of course we have some players on the server that are fast. Oh, almost that didn't work. Oh my god. Yeah, what was this round? Also I PP'd hier. Also I PP'd and almost got only third with this. Behind us then a 10-second gap. I lose 12 points. Golio and Nopix out. Did Nopix also leave? Yeah, wow, that's weird. But okay. Artis was playing. He must not know the track, I guess. But he got 5th. 5th out of 9. Yeah, what is that now? Is he now out or not? I have no idea. Yeah, but I'm not happy yet how I play, but mainly it's that this freewheel sector didn't work 2 times, and both times that of course pushes you into worse positions. So 111, very difficult to stay above 100 now at this point. I mean, pace-wise, these rounds were so far pretty simple to always be top 3, often even to win. Uah, that was close. Also Artis is still in. Always afraid that I release too much. Also I will drop now below 100. This was a decent lap, but it's only third now. Yeah, it's so close again. And Artis is 4th of 7, that should be enough again. Or is he actually out now? No, he's not. Scheiße. Oh my god. I got punished so hard, position-wise. The thing is, there's also nobody close to me now. You cannot come back from it. It's like impossible. This is like this kind of map where the respawns... I'm actually in last chance now by 2 points, eh. This is the type of map where the respawns... Byron is last even, what the fuck. Where the respawns cost you more points... more time than you can ever gain by just driving. And the thing is that this is like a little bit random as well. It is a little bit random, sadly, with some of these things. Oh no, I didn't see what I need now. Yeah, top 3, I think. Suddenly Kevin Strike is leading. That's so stupid. But yeah, the last rounds matter, as I said. Byron is actually going into the last chance now. Artis is knocked out, and Fritz is knocked out. We are now 4 players left, and I need to become top 2. Oh, Byron DNF, that's huge. Okay, also Kevin's strike actually drops. Oh, but only by 66 points. Ugh, true. What do I need now? Top 2, I guess. Just need to beat one of them. Ugh, I did a tactical mistake. Because now I need to beat Kevin Strike twice. But if I had beaten him now, I would have already made it. That he is in last chance. I forgot about that. But I realized that after I started to save. Okay, I don't know how he gained 8 cents on me. Scheiße, scheiße. Why does that slow me down? Oh, I wanted to catch up to him. I guess he had a mega sick start. But I was usually gaining to him in the ending. So nothing was lost, but now it feels a bit lost. Yeah, okay. If he doesn't make the free wheel, then... But he didn't have any issues with that so far. And I of course need to make the free wheel. I won a bit, but not 13 seconds obviously. He drove a fast time. My copium is a 51. Not sure if it was affected by some of these clips. No, I think it not. How late is that? We have actually 9 minutes where I can try to get this world record from Kevin Strike, because that's absolutely possible. But yeah, that shows how important the last rounds are, because Kevin Strike was, like, I didn't even notice that he was playing. He lost so many points in the beginning, in the first few rounds. But of course he didn't lose that many, because there were still a few more players on the server. But he didn't really score good. But then at the end, when we were less players, he was very consistent in the top 2, top 3. And suddenly he went into the lead, even though he was 100 behind. And for 100 behind, he had to of course lose quite something. Also quite bad positions to get that far behind. But the ending matters, only the ending. I made like this mistake in the top 3 round with Kadabu, where I saw that Kadabu's 10 seconds behind, and then I felt like, okay, then let's save here. And then I noticed, ah wait, that's so stupid. Because if I get first, then I push Kevin Strike into last chance. I need to beat him 2 times anyway. And like the thing is, it was absolutely possible to beat him in that round. he didn't really drive very fast, and I missed the opportunity to beat him because I went safe. And after I noticed that, I tried to then risk, but it was too late in that round. It was just too late. I couldn't really catch up anymore what I lost by saving. The pressure, of course, would have been a bit different if he was in last chance as well already. Not sure if it would have made a difference. But yeah, some of these jumps, they sometimes just don't work. The last run here with the jump now is also such an example. Sometimes I just didn't have speed for this one, because I overjumped the downhill in the first one. But then on the other hand, you also are happy if you make it at all with the jump before. It's not that simple. Ach herrje. Yeah, and this is this is also so random. Ouch. Luckily I didn't have that happening. That cost you 2 rounds? Oh damn it. Yeah, that's unfortunate, because it's just, like, you don't do a mistake, but you lose so many seconds there if that happens. It's so stupid. But I got fucked by the jumps into the freewheel in 2 rounds, and that were also like 15-second respawns. Like 2 of my early rounds were completely mudded because of that. Close with making this jump. Yeah, I knew that this is not working. Come, in 5 minutes, new weekly shorts. We're gonna do the discovery, of course. I wasn't sure how long this cup takes. There were times where this cup actually took until cup of the day. Can also continue like this. But what I notice always with this format, where you have last chance, what I always notice with that format is that I really struggle to focus in the first rounds. Because it always, like through the whole cup actually, because it always feels like, yeah, I can drive as bad as I want. If I just end up in the last chance and then I start driving good, I can still win. Like, it's like you don't really need to drive any good for most of the time. Of course, if you drive good most of the time, then you can avoid that you maybe get in danger earlier. But it really doesn't matter too much how you play with the last chance mode. We were now in that situation where Kevin's strike needed to... I had to beat him twice and then it's fine. Okay, this is the run. Or not. Oh, I survived it, but had of course an awful line. My god, like this is so random. Holy shit. I actually preferred the without last chance. Because it is, in my opinion, this is one of the best formats in Trackmania. It is very special. And in that format, I also would be more focused through the whole cup along. Because every round matters, every point matters. But when we have last chance, it always feels like it doesn't matter, yeah? I could have been like 50 or 75 points better, but I still would have been ending up in the last chance at the same moment, you know, or in that final round. Like, the situation would have been maybe the same. Like, I have my experiences with last chance from the Fastlane League. That was another weekly cup, and there it was completely useless that we used. Also, the fact that we had this format was super stupid. But one thing that I improved here in comparison to the Fastlane League is the fact that you need top 50% to survive the last chance. It is not enough to avoid being last. You actually have to be in the top 50%. That makes it way more interesting, way more difficult. So that's not as bad. So this is the last try for the world record here. But it is possible with this run, I think. Okay, got the fast end. And there we go! Yay! The last try, guys. Here we go. And with that, weekly shorts discovery.